I've got garden updates, and I have to go to Florida for business. Hate leaving the garden right now, but if I go to Florida, I have to look at some palm trees, so I'm going to a couple of gardens. Hi everyone, it's Tim. Welcome back. Thank you for watching. It is another crazy week in the garden, but it is cut short this week because I am going to Florida for work. And long ago when I booked the trip, I said, well, I can't go to Florida without going to some gardens, so I am going to do that. But the train is really loud this morning on the other side of the river. I don't know why. So I can't... It was a great idea at the time, but I hate traveling in the springtime because there is so much to do. This is kind of the before area. This is where I took out all the bamboo, and my poor Canary Island date palm is struggling there, but I am going to redo this and show you what it looks like, even though it won't look great right away. This is the other side where my Washingtionia is, and more of my bananas by the steps, and my pomegranate. My Musa Basjoo up by the house is doing fantastic right now. Elsewhere, not so good. It's not really coming up at all, but this might be in full leaf soon. One of my neighbors down the street called me and said he had 2 large bird of paradise. This is one of them here. I already got one in the ground to give me, so I love those kind of days when I'm busy in the garden and then someone says they have more plants for me, and it's really tall too. Just what I need, more plants, but actually I'm really happy. And this thing is gigantic. So I thank my friend Sal for giving me 2 of these. I just have to figure out where I am going to put them in the garden. It is so hot and humid out here, and I am not complaining because it was freezing cold 2 weeks ago. For a nice break, I'm driving to one of my friend's house in Connecticut because I'm giving him some plants and I want to look at his Trachycarpus. But look at these daffodils here. This is what a normal New York, New England, Connecticut garden should look like. Unlike mine, which looks nothing like this. But it is pretty. I mean, look how pretty that is. It's just not me, really. But I still like it, and I love driving through the countryside. And here is my friend Chris's Trachycarpus fortunei. We think it's a fortunei. It has a huge canopy, though, bigger than mine, bigger than most, and then it's a very hairy Trachycarpus. So if anyone has some opinions on this one, we would love to hear. But the canopy is gigantic on this thing. It doesn't look like your normal Trachycarpus. Mine are not like that, but I like it. And down by the pool, I have some Trachycarpus that are starting to bloom, unlike the one that's up by the house that is already in full bloom almost. So they're lagging behind, which it means the one up by the house is not going to be fertile, I don't think, this year. Because it's too far ahead of everything else. These are lagging behind. Maybe they will catch up in time. I don't know, but while I'm down here, it's awfully pretty out this morning. Sometimes I'm looking at the palm trees so much I forget to look at the view, and the view is amazing. But yeah, they're obviously healthy. They're flowering, so I'm happy about that. And hopefully they will fertilize each other so we will get some seed this year, unlike last year, which I didn't get very much at all. And this is the one that's ahead of everybody else. It is far, far ahead, so I don't know if the others will catch up. But maybe it'll be self-fertile, I don't know. Maybe someone has some palm trees near me and I don't know it. Maybe the bees will carry the pollen over. I don't know, I can just hope for the best. are some flowers on my shamrops here. And I think this one is a male because I got seeds off the other one and I only have 2. And I don't think any of my neighbors have them, so, but I could be wrong because sometimes they're both, I think. And I see nothing over here on my bigger shamrops, my Mediterranean fan palm. And this is the one that produced seeds last year. I don't see anything yet. No flowers, no nothing yet. Well, my Paw Paws are blooming, and they are not the most beautiful of flowers, but they do produce beautiful fruit. And it's very tropical, even though it is native to the United States. And the nice thing is you don't have to cover them at all, which is fantastic. And just so you know, bees do not pollinate these. They are pollinated by flies. Apparently the flower has a really bad smell that flies like, and I just tried smelling them and I could not smell them at all. So I guess it's a subtle fragrance. So if you get a pawpaw, you don't need to worry about that, but flies will pollinate them. And it's funny, this is one variety here. I have another variety over here. This is a smaller fruit variety. Then over here, I have a larger fruit variety. And the flowers do look a little different. And over here, this one has never, I think it produced 1 or 2 fruit last year. And this year there's a lot more flowers on, and they look slightly different. So hopefully I will get some nice fruit from these pawpaws this year. This is the Plumaria that is about to bloom. I have one more that's about to bloom and it's outside, but I kept this one in just to see if I can prolong the bloom a little bit better than the one outside. And just waiting for it to happen. I love when you're working on stuff around the bananas and you look down and there's a lovely snake. Just a harmless snake. It looks like I'm in morning, but this is just because the sun is a little too intense out here and I want to limit how much sun my bottle palm gets. So I've got a nice sheet over it on this beautiful, warm spring day. And yes, I have been in the pool. It has been some incredible weather, and that's why it's always so sad when I have to leave to go someplace for work when I'm leaving this nice weather. But at night, it gets quite cool, so I've been having a fire in the fireplace at night. I'm always amazed at the speed at which these bananas grow. But I want to show you, I've never had one that looked like it was going to flower right at the beginning of the season. Now, granted, a lot of these in this section right here, it was a really hot summer last summer, they flowered. So I'm not even sure if these lower ones are going to come back, although they're really hard. So they might, but several flowered here. I'm not expecting, but this one is definitely, if you ever see this little shape here, this is going to flower here. So it's barely going to have a chance this year. And that was a nice big one, as you can see by the rings there. But hopefully I will get a few. This was actually a little overcrowded, so I guess I got my wish. It's not so overcrowded anymore with bananas. And if you saw how dismal my red bananas were at the beginning of the season, the way I stored them, they looked horrible, but they are coming back. This one in particular is on the rebound. There's a few down here that are small, but they're on the rebound as well. And then if I walk down over here, I've got two on the hill here, and they're coming back as well. So yeah, they looked really, really bad, and sometimes you just have to let them be and water them and hope for the best, and then you get some results. And then if I scroll way down here, you can see my hardy ginger is coming up. The Gunnera is still alive. I have not killed it yet. It seems to be growing, and I'll be happy. One thing I hate in gardening is culling the tomatoes because I grew too many. So basically right now I'm just going to take them out of the seedling tray and put them in clumps into pots, and I ended up with about 16 right here, and then I will cut off the ones that aren't as strong a little later, but first I want to make sure they're growing properly, and then I will divide them up. But I've got lots of tomatoes for this season, which is always nice to have. With all this nice warm weather, the new fronds are definitely coming out. Got that one, this one, and then I'll show you how big this one is without cutting myself too much. This one's just huge here. This is my biggest Washingtionia. And it definitely has the nice sharp edges that get me all the time. No matter how much I try not to get cut, I always end up somehow. That's one thing nice about this tree getting taller and taller is I'll be less likely when I'm mulching and things like that of standing up too fast and then getting cut in the face. And I think my Sylvestris is doing really well. It's got a couple of just yucky fronds from the winter, but the rest of it looks pretty good. And it's nice to see a rainbow out over the Hudson. Not a full rainbow, but a rainbow nonetheless. This is moving along. I've got more plants in. I have some mulch, so it is ready to start looking a little more tropical. It's getting there. I still have more to do, but at least when you come through the gate, it looks like a garden right now. And over here on the side, it's looking a little bit better too. I've got some of the gingers over here. I have my fig tree back in there, and looking a little bit better. I still have so much work to do, and I have to go to Florida. After working all day in the garden yesterday, I woke up at 2:30 a.m. so that I could be in Newark, New Jersey for my 6 a.m. flight. That is life of a gardener. I made it. It's 8:30 a.m. in Florida. So happy. And there are palm trees everywhere. Yay. Driving out to a garden, and I can't even pronounce the name, and I can't look it up right now, so I am not going to tell you until we get there. But it is very exciting being in Florida because there are so many palm trees. I'm just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I know, yeah, palm trees are a dime a dozen down here, but for someone who lives in New York and has to go through great measures to have palm trees, when you get here in Florida and you see all of these, you're just like, this is amazing how these people are so lucky. And it's really humid here, and I am from Atlanta, and I miss that humidity. There's something very comforting about humidity that I just love. And I may, by the end of the week, be glad to be back in New York without humidity. But right now, it feels like a nice warm blanket around you, and I miss that. But I'm already at the airport. I could have just wandered around their gardens there. So many great palm trees, so many palmettos, and if you all know me, if you've been watching my channel I have little palmettos, but I really want a big palmetto. One of the people I follow, Lenny on Long Island, has these gigantic palmettos, and I really, really would like to have one. And one day I will, one day. Anyway, I love road trips, and I've never driven out here this way before, so this will be fun. I am in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I was stopped at a light and I saw this cute little apartment complex with lots of palms and birds of paradise. I love it. And here is the first garden I'm going to. The Kopsick Arboretum, Palms and Cycads. It's just a tiny little garden. This is definitely my kind of place. Look at this. It's amazing. Wow, what a beautiful cycad. Sorry about the sun there, but that is just so pretty. There are so many palms in this garden. I don't know if they have all of these because this is insane, but there are a lot. And I'm excited. You definitely could come to this garden and do some research on which palms you really like. There's so many different names. I'm going to name a few, but I'm not going to name all of them just because it's just crazy. There's just so many varieties. It's just one after the other, and it's so beautiful. I highly recommend coming here. This dark colored palm is gigantic. It is huge. Love it. I just want to show you how big this thing is. Here's my hand. It's gigantic. They are just palms of all different sizes. Like these little ones I love. And then of course this Cuban petticoat palm back here, which I would love to have a big one. I actually have a couple of seedlings from a friend brought back from Florida. So it's so slow growing. They've done nothing in 2 years, but I have them, which is still kind of fun. Love these. This says it is a Cuban petticoat, but it doesn't look like it. I just thought it was really interesting, and I'm glad they left it because it's growing in such an odd way. This thing is massive, and of course, there are seeds right here. But there's nothing on the ground. It's like they cleaned up. It's like they knew I was coming because I would be taking everything that I could find on the ground. It's so beautiful here. It's just gorgeous. It's not even that big of a park, but it's just so pretty and peaceful. And I love this Fiji fan palm right here. Really, really pretty. Look at the seed pods on these. They're gigantic, really big. And then they have these little tiny stems of seeds. Really interesting. So I did grab some seeds off this. And of course, there is no marker for this one. It figures. The one thing I got some seeds from, I don't even know what it is. But I love these gigantic things here, the seed pod. I did grab a Cuban Royal that was on the ground. And I love the seed pods on this unnamed variety right here. Pretty cool looking. I am not even showing you half of what I've seen. There's so much I recorded, and I keep hearing parrots, and I'm going to find them. I love parrots, as you know. And there are some parrots in here. I keep hearing them. Wish I could see it up close, but it looks like some kind of conure. And you know I like parrots and palm trees. These are just some of the neighborhoods in St. Pete, and they have some beautiful tropicals in their yard. The yards are very small, but I love them. And here we are, Sunken Gardens. I have wanted to go here since I was a little kid. In the 60s and 70s, they used to advertise all these tourist traps in Florida, and this was one of them. And my parents would never take me, and now I am here, and I'm so excited. And look at this bougainvillea. It makes me so sad because mine did not make it, but it's just gorgeous. And look at that date palm up there. Oh, yeah, this is exciting. So exciting going in here. And this is definitely one of those gardens that I am not even going to try to name everything. It is just spectacular. It's beautiful. It's not gigantic. This was, I think, started in the 1920s, and it's one of those tourist destinations. And look at this bamboo. Amazing. There's just so much stuff in this small little space, but it's one of those nice, calm, everybody's being quiet for the most part. And you just wander through and love all this tropical plants and staghorn ferns. I could do a whole video just on staghorn ferns in this garden. There's so many. They're hanging from trees, and I know they do this in Miami and things like that, but still, for someone in New York who only gets to put these out in the summertime, this is just amazing. And there's lots of orchids. Orchids are in all the trees. This is a beautiful live oak and just massive. And I know there's an even larger one in here. Tree ferns, so amazing. But this is just beautiful. I highly recommend stopping by. You don't need a whole lot of time to come here. There's just so much to see in such a little tiny stop here. And here's something we can all relate to: record-breaking freezes. And they use kerosene heaters to keep off, but still 25% of the plantings froze. Yeah, well, I do like birds, as you know, but yeah, they're like the quintessential thought of Florida. Just, I'm a kid in a candy shop. There's too much here. It's overwhelming. I wanted, if I come back again, I would like to stay somewhere in St. Pete where I can go in the morning and maybe in the late afternoon when the light's better, because as you can see, the midday light is hard to photo, and you're not seeing just how beautiful this garden is with all the flowers. The light's a little too harsh right now. I need to come back, and I need to find some more gardens in this area. And I'm hoping next winter I go to Miami and look at things there, because this is so pretty, and the light is just not doing it justice right now. So bad on me not realizing that midday would not be the best opportunity to photo in here. But yeah, this is what I want my backyard to look like. I think all of us zone pushers would like our backyard to look like this, and we will never really achieve that, because even in Florida, this is a lot of work here. And as you saw, they have to still worry about some freezes and things like that. But what an amazing collection to see, and I'm definitely going to get one of these. Have to. Loving this garden, loving this little brief trip. And this is what you have to do as a crazy gardener. You have to, and that's a screw pine. You have to, even turtles and tortoises. You have to, when you have to leave on business and you leave your garden, which I was actually really not happy about because I've got so much to do. But I'm making the best of it by finding gardens in this area to see before I have to start meetings all day long tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. So you have to find find what gardeners are doing if you travel for business. I know I have a friend who's in Iceland right now, and he's looking at gardens, and we all have to do that. And that's what makes gardening so much fun, is seeing what other people are doing. And I love these massive roots around this king palm. They're just gigantic. Yeah, so many interesting things, so many ideas for my garden. It's inspiring. I hope it's inspiring for you too. And these ginger flowers. Yeah. And I know I have too much ginger, but this is what makes me get excited about ginger all over again, because when you have flowers like this, it's just so beautiful and amazing. Okay, I have to get this. This rainbow eucalyptus. The colors you are seeing on the video don't even do it justice, and I have color issues. I'm technically colorblind. I see true colors but not variations, but even to me this is really, really colorful, so I can't imagine what it's like to everybody else, but I'm going to get one. These Robellinis are so tall. I think the tallest Robellinis, pygmy palms, I've ever seen. I wonder how old they are, but they are just, and I have to kind of rethink. The koi are gigantic. You can buy koi food in the front, and it's clear everyone is feeding them because they are huge. I can't even imagine what they weigh. I wish I could get up close to them so you could just see how big they are, but I do love these little palms, the ponds in the middle of all of this, but they're just massive little koi here. They would dwarf mine completely, but they're beautiful, and they look like they're all eating way too much, but I love them. I have to show this live oak. It's just gigantic. The branches are amazing. I have to, when I'm home, I will show you my little tiny baby live oak I have, which will never get this big in my lifetime. And now I'm at my hotel, which has a lot of date palms out front. Some Phoenix canariensis, some Phoenix dactyliferas, and some Robellinis all out here. They all look in really good health, so they're taking care of them. The landscaping is really, really pretty. And I think this video is so long, I'm going to end it here, even though I have so much more video to show. Maybe I'll do something else later, but I just wanted to have all of you see this. And please like and subscribe, and thank you as always for watching, and make comments. I love conversing with all of you so much. Thank you.